Welcome to Relationships Through the Looking Glass. You have now entered the in-betweens, the series of episodes between seasons that focus on absolutely anything. I really don't know what might come up in these topics, but what I do know, the content you'll listen to, you'll definitely find something that you can utilize in your own relationships. So sit back and relax, and let's get started. Hey, said Rabbit. What's that over there? Where? Said Alice. Through the trees. What is that? Hey, it looks like a road, said Alice. And as they walked closer to the tree line, they found out that it was a road. A dirt road that was blanketed by full trees as canopying over, blocking the sun, but letting some rays through. I know exactly where we're at, said Alice. This road takes us home. All we have to do is stay on this road for a few more days and we'll be there. Are you serious? Said Rabbit. We did it? We found our way home? Well, we're not there yet. There's still a couple of villages that we have to get through. Some of them might not be too happy that I'm going through there. But yeah, I know where we're at. I'm not lost anymore. That's amazing, said Rabbit. I thought when we were walking up that hill, we'll never get here. Yeah. That mountain was something else, wasn't it? Yeah, and it was freezing. But now it feels like we're in the middle of spring. The birds are singing, the crickets are chirping. Like, this is beautiful. And if your village is anything like this, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, said Alice. I think you're going to like it a lot. So they started walking down the road. So is there any place close by to get food? Because I'm getting kind of hungry, said Rabbit. Yeah, sure. A little bit ways down here, there's going to be a village. And when they see me, they'll be very willing to give us food and anything else we need. Oh, really? So you're kind of known around these parts? I guess you could say that, said Alice. So as they walked further down the road, the rabbit started humming to himself. What's that song? Said Alice. I don't know. It just popped up in my head. Well, I think it's a cute song. You should keep humming it. So he did. As they got further down the road, they noticed off to the side, behind some trees, were some silver metal things glowing. What's that? Said Rabbit. I don't know, said Alice. So they walked closer. And they found it to be Alice's armor. What is this doing here? Said Alice. I don't know. What is it? Said Rabbit. Well, it's mine. Yours? It's a bunch of metal, said Rabbit. Yeah, I know. I wore it to protect myself. You wore a bunch of metal to protect yourself? Said Rabbit. Yeah. It kept me safe. Safe from what? Everything. And what's that over there? Said Alice. Oh my gosh, is that my cape? Alice ran over to the tree where it was hung. That is my cape, and she threw it on. Wow, said Rabbit. You look like royalty. Alice looked over to him and smirked. Yeah, you can kind of say that. So both of these are yours? Yeah, said Alice. When I started walking off with the wolf, I kind of took my cape off and took my armor off because I felt I was safe to be around him and I didn't need either because I didn't think he was going to hurt me. Oh, said Rabbit. Sorry. Didn't mean to bring up that bad memory. No, it's okay. I've learned a lot from that experience. And I don't even think I need to put the armor back on. Well, that's a good thing, said Rabbit, because it seems like it's uncomfortable, heavy, and probably loud. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But it did keep me safe, and one thing I knew, when I did wear it, nothing could get to me. I was like a stone wall. Nothing bothered me. I didn't care because I knew I was protected by this armor. Yeah, but was it comfortable? Well, not really. And did you like wearing it? No, not really, said Alice. But I was safe. Yeah, I guess that's a trade-off, said Rabbit. But I don't think I need it anymore, said Alice. Really? said Rabbit. Why not? I think I've learned so many lessons just by my experience in Wonderland that I know it's okay to be vulnerable. I just have to be vulnerable with the right people. And there's no way I'm going to know who that is if I'm always armored up and behind this metal. Because the right people can enhance your life. I mean, look at us. We went from me chasing you to like we're BFFs now. Yeah, I guess you could say that, said the Rabbit. So I don't think I need the armor anymore. I think I'm going to leave it here. Wow, that's awesome. What about the cape? Nah, I'm keeping the cape. The cape reminds me of who I am. Who are you? I mean, when you say it like that, I guess you'll find out soon enough. But I'm definitely keeping my cape. Well, I like it. It looks good on you. Yeah, I like it too. So, where is this place where we can find something to eat? Come on, it's a little bit further down the road. Great, because I am starving. Yeah, me too, said Alice. She threw her cape on, and down the road they went. And in her heart, she knew she was on the right way. She was headed home. Hey, Alice, what's that noise? Said Alice. It sounds like the waterfall. Ooh, a waterfall? Said the Rabbit. I've never seen a waterfall in person. Well, I'm not a person, so... But yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, but I know these waterfalls. Yeah, what's so bad about them? I can't wait to see them. I've heard stories of how majestic and beautiful they are. Well, these waterfalls are special. See, to get to my village, we have to go through them. What do you mean go through them? Not so much walk through them, said Alice. There is a cave on the other side of the waterfall. We just have to climb up there and get around the water and walk through the cave, and on the other side, the road continues to the village. Oh, okay, well, that doesn't seem so bad. We'll probably get a little bit wet, but it's warm out here, so I guess we'll be okay, said the Rabbit. Yeah. It's not so much the cave or the water, it's what's in the cave. Okay. What's in the cave? Said Rabbit. Well, a lot of people, when they're trying to do this, they get stuck. They get stuck inside the cave because they're face to face with who they truly are. So any and everything that they have ever had to deal with, they're confronted with. And sometimes it's too much for them to bear. And instead of going through the cave, they'll turn back around. It's actually a way that we protect our village from a lot of bad guys. Bad guys? Yeah, people who want to come to the village and destroy us. So we have these waterfalls and caves around where a lot of the times people can't get through them because they're face to face with who they really are. Okay, so if you're a good person, then it shouldn't be a problem, right? Said Rabbit. Well, yeah. And that's the thing. If you do everything with a pure heart, then it's not going to be a problem. It's the individuals who have, let's just say, not so pure thoughts and intentions. They're the ones who get stuck. But sometimes people who think they're in the right, or people that think they're doing well, or people that think they can hide their true intentions, they notice that they can't and see who they really are. Well, this should be interesting, said Rabbit. But I guess we should go ahead and go. The sun's going to be going down soon, and I kind of want to get some more distance in before we go down for bed. Yeah, you're right. So let's go. Let's do this. So Rabbit and Alice approach the waterfall. As they get closer, they feel the breeze of the air and the water. Ah, this feels so great, said Rabbit. I can't see how this beautiful image could be so scary and threatening to people. Well, it's not supposed to be, said Alice, but it's really not the waterfall that's scary. It's what is reflected back to people that scares them. Yeah, you're right. So, are you ready to do this? Rabbit asked Alice. Of course, let's go. So they proceed beyond the waterfall into the cave. Wow, look at all the colors, said Rabbit. I see purples, I see greens, I see blues. What are these crystals? There's a whole bunch of crystals, stones, rocks. It's really beautiful. I don't see any reflective mirrors though. Yeah, we won't get to them until you get to the middle. Okay, well, let's go. So they walked further and further down, and then they started to see the reflections. Oh, said Rabbit. This is what you're talking about. Okay, so Rabbit hops on, way ahead of Alice. No problems whatsoever. He makes it past all the reflections, and all he sees is himself. And now he's waiting for Alice on the other side. Wow, that wasn't so bad at all, said Rabbit. Come on, Alice, what's taking you so long? Alice became very hesitant because she knew that there were some things that she carried on the inside, the things that the armor protected, that she really did not want to have to see reflected back to her. But she knew to get to the other side of this cave and to get home, she had to face those. I'm coming, said Alice. Well, hurry up, said Rabbit. I'm ready to go. It's really pretty over there, but on this end, it's kind of dark and gloomy. All right, here I come. So Alice tucks her first walk in and looks. And the first thing she sees is a scared little girl in the reflection. She looks at the little girl and she knows that it's her. But she wonders why this little girl looks so frightened. Then she realizes that the armor that she wore, she used to protect herself from getting hurt, was really to protect herself because she was scared. Scared of what true vulnerability was and what the fallout or outcome would be. And that's because when she was younger, she had to deal with people leaving and knew that if she got close to anybody, that potential for them to leave was always there. So instead of acknowledging that fear, she would act like it didn't exist. And now she was coming face to face with that part of her personality. But she accepted it, and she was able to move on. And when she accepted it, the reflection changed from the scared little girl back to her own reflection. So she advanced further into the cave, and she looked to the left. There she saw an angry Alice, somebody that she didn't even recognize. And she wondered, why was she so upset in this reflection? And she started to realize it was because she couldn't get the things that she wanted when she wanted. So she did things that might have been a bit manipulative to get them. Knowing what the outcome she wanted, she did behaviors to make that happen. So it wasn't in the best and pure of intentions, but she did the things she wanted to get what she wanted. So once she came and had an awareness of that, the reflection changed back to herself. She wasn't proud of some of her actions when she was in that way, but she accepted that was a part of who she was, but a part of who she was no longer. So she moved further in, And she looked over to the right. And in this reflection, she saw a shadow, which looked like herself, but she couldn't make out a face. It was just a dark silhouette. And in this reflection, she wasn't sure what it was representing. So she stared at it longer. And then she realized it was a reflection of numbness, of emptiness, of barrenness. It was the energy that she put herself in to protect herself from getting close to anybody. She liked to be alone because it was safe. So she chose not to engage with people. She chose to keep herself in caves and dark spaces. And this was a reflection that was the hardest for her to accept. Because in this reflection, she really didn't see anything wrong. She understood how being scared as a young child and being abandoned caused her to make decisions as an adult. She understood why being angry and doing things out of spite and with malicious intent was something that she had to change. She didn't quite understand why being numb and non-receptive to emotion was so bad. So she started to gaze more and more into that void. "What are you doing, Alice?" said Rabbit. "You're starting to scare me." Then Alice looked to the rabbit and know then that that was something that she allowed. That was a friend. Then she looked back to the voided dark silhouette and said, "I get it now. To make connections, you can't be void of emotion and feeling. You have to allow yourself the space to connect." And with that thought, the silhouette changed into herself. And she was able to move past the reflections. "Whoa," she said. "That was intense." "Yeah," said the rabbit. "What did you see?" "Well, the first image I saw me as a little girl crying and being scared because I was abandoned and left when I was young, and how that impacted my relationships. And then the second reflection, I was so mad and evil and wanted to get back at people and doing things maliciously because of the pain I felt as a child. And then the last one, it was just nothing. Nothing? What do you mean nothing? Like nothing. It was just a shadow. "Ooh, that sounds spooky," said Rabbit. "Yeah, it was. But what I did realize is all of those were shadows of myself. And having to assimilate them into who I was or who I am is the only way for true growth." "Oh," said Rabbit. "Once again, you humans are complicated." "Yeah, yes we are." So with that, they made their way out of the cave on the other side. And from that point on, she could see home. Wow, I'm starting to hear my village. We are so close now. Well, I'm happy, Rabbit. Is there any place we can get some food and go to sleep around here? Yeah, see that town right there? About a mile or two? Yeah. Yeah. We'll be just fine there overnight. Let's go. Go ahead and get started. Hey, Alice, that was a great little town. And it's so funny. Like, everybody knew you. Yeah, as we get closer to my village, you'll see that a lot. No, but like, they were acting weird type of know you, said Rabbit. What do you mean? Said Alice. Like, following us around and, like, asking us if we needed anything, like every time we said anything. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Said Alice. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, it felt like they were expecting us and just had like a little hut for you already for you, even though they didn't know we were coming. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, kind of weird. So what is it that you do anyway? Said Rabbit. Hey, look, said Alice. Over there, do you see that road? Yeah, that's a shortcut. Let's go. So Alice and Rabbit ran to the shortcut and started walking. It's not really a road, it's more grass and flowers, but it's definitely a shortcut. That's cool, said Rabbit. I like shortcuts. And I like the smell of these flowers too. Yeah, they're my favorite. Lilac and lavender. Yeah, I like it too. So as they started walking, Alice thought to herself and said to Rabbit, you know, it's the weirdest thing. I really feel like I want a pickle right now. That's weird. Yeah. Oh no. What? Said Rabbit. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Alice. Great. Hey, is that sorcerer dude again? Said Rabbit. I know. What do you want? Now, Alice, why do you always greet me like you're so upset to see me? Because you always pop up at the most inappropriate times and you cause nothing but chaos every time you do. Now that's not true, Alice. I pop up to check in on you from time to time. Yeah. And you always bring chaos. Alice, why would you say that? Especially in front of my new friend. New friend, said Rabbit. Yeah, any friend of Alice is a friend of mine, the sorceress said. Okay, said Rabbit. Awkward. Oh my god, what do you want this time? Alice, said Sorcerer, don't be that way. How have you been? I mean, the last time I checked, you were like running around from giants in the forest, right? How'd that work out for you? Well, you left us, like you always leave. So, yeah, but I mean, you're here now, so I guess everything worked out in your favor, right? Again, what do you want? Alice, I'm just checking to see if you're okay. Do you need anything? No. Are you sure? No. Nothing from you. Alice, you know all I have to do is snap my finger, and whatever you want, you have. I don't want anything that you have to offer, okay? Where did we go wrong, Alice? Said the sorcerer. We go so far back. We were so close. We were in training together, school together, and now you treat me like I'm an enemy. I'm never your enemy. Really? Said Alice. Let's look back at all the times you've caused chaos and started fires, and I've had to be the one to put them out. But, Alice, it's so much fun starting those fires. Wouldn't you believe? Wouldn't you guess? Wouldn't you? Rabbit, help me out here. I'm not quite sure starting fires is a good thing. Oh, she's just being metaphorically speaking. I've never actually started a fire, as he says with air quotes. Yeah, but the destruction you leave behind is much worse. Oh, Alice, Alice, Alice. You know I'm never going anywhere, right? Is that a threat? Said Alice. I mean, look at us. We've known each other for years. Decades, even. Why would you want me to leave? It's a good thing having somebody with my type of powers, who you can call on whenever you need. I mean, I would think so, said the sorcerer. Well, really, said Alice, I can handle things on my own. Are you sure? I mean, you followed a practically stranger into the woods and got lost. You left your armor behind. and you were stuck. So tell me again how you can handle yourself. Look, yeah, I've made poor decisions in the past, but I've learned from them. Oh, and I do see that you've got your cape back. Well, well, well. How does it feel to put it back on? It feels great, actually. Forgot how good it felt. So, I'm guessing the rabbit knows who you are? Said the sorcerer. Knows who she is? Says the rabbit. She's Alice. She hasn't told you, has she? Can we please talk about something else? Said Alice. Well, you're just a few days short from being back home. He's gonna find out sooner or later. Find out what? Said Rabbit. I'm sick of everybody keeping things from me. What is it that you're not telling me, Alice? There you go again, said Alice, starting fires that I have to put out. I wouldn't say that it's starting a fire. You know, I've always told you omission of information is a lie, right? You could learn so much from me if you just allow it to happen, said the sorcerer. You know what? I really don't think our relationship, if you could call it that, is beneficial for me. Why? That's a hurtful thing to say, said the sorcerer. Well, I'm just being honest. Every time you come around, I'm a much more agitated and more upset when you leave. That can't be normal. I don't know what you're talking about, said the sorcerer. I feel just fine. Actually, after interacting with you, I feel so much better. So for me, it works. And so for me, I'm never going to leave. I'll always be around. Again, is that a threat? Said Alice. Take it as you will, take it as you want. I'm just letting you know. I'm just a phone call away. Just snap your fingers, make a thought. I'll visit you in your dreams. Whatever you need, I'm here. Again, I don't need you to be here. I'm fine without you. Yeah, we might have gone to school together, fought together, and protected a lot of people together, but I think our time has passed. I don't feel that we're both getting a mutually gratifying interaction. Oh, Alice, so bitter, so bitter. Like I said, I'm always going to be around, so just get used to it. I'll meet you on the other side when you get home. I can't wait to see Rabbit's face when he finds out. And with the snap of a finger, the sorcerer was gone. I hate how he does that, said Alice. Yeah, he's kind of annoying, and I'm beginning to think I understand what you're talking about him coming and going off and on, and not really bringing a lot of value to the situation. I know. Like, why won't he just leave me alone? Well, Alice, how much of this is your fault, too? What? Said Alice. What do you mean? I don't call him over here to me. I would be minding my own business, living my life, and poof, here he is. Poof, there he is. Poof. How is this my fault? Well, Alice, what would happen if you stopped giving him attention? What do you mean? Said Alice. Like, every time he comes around, you engage with him. What would happen if you stopped? I don't know. I never thought of that. Here's a question, Alice, said Rabbit. Why do you engage with him? I don't know, because I've always have. Right? And from what he says, you guys have known each other for a long, long time, right? And have history together? Well, yeah, said Alice. And if I remember correctly, you guys have had similar stories, and that kind of bonds you together? Well, yeah, said Alice. But why? What's the point? You said it yourself, it's not gratifying for you. You said it yourself, it's more annoying than anything else. So why give him your energy and attention? said Rabbit. I don't know. I guess because I always have, said Alice. Just because you've known somebody for a very long time, history does not equate a relationship. You might want to think about that. Wow, said Alice. A little white rabbit just gave me a life lesson. Yeah, I think I'm learning some stuff watching you humans. Like I said, you guys are so complicated. Yeah, Alice said. Yes, we are. But what you said made a lot of sense. Just because I've known somebody for a very long time doesn't mean they should have access to me whenever they want to. I wonder what would happen the next time he pops up and I don't respond. Good question, said the rabbit. Maybe the next time he does, because we know he will, you do that and find out. You're right. I think I'll do that. I'm done with allowing myself to be accessible simply because of a historical tie. Yeah, I'm going to do what you said, Rabbit. Thanks for that. Not a problem, said Rabbit. So, are you going to tell me? What's the secret you're keeping from me? Hey, what's over there? And Alice took off towards the lake. Come on, let's go swimming. And she dropped her cape and jumped in. And Rabbit was like, well, I guess I'll find out sooner or later. And he followed behind her. Alice, 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 Alice! What is wrong with you? Said Alice. The rabbit was running full speed toward her. Help me, help me, help me! Why are you running? What is going on? And just then, around the tree, she saw the hunter, chasing the rabbit with the biggest knife you could ever imagine. Hold on a second. Get behind me, Alice said to the rabbit. Stop right there, said Alice. Excuse me, said the hunter. You heard me. Put that sword down and stop chasing this rabbit. Really? Am I supposed to bow to you? You forget, I don't live in your kingdom. You don't live in my kingdom, but you're on my land. So I am. Where have you been anyway? What does that matter? Says Alice. What do you mean, what does that matter? You just left your kingdom unattended and unprotected. What kind of leader does that? Watch your tone and who you're talking to. Like I said the hunter, I don't bow to you, nor do I answer to you. Like I said Alice, you're on my land. Get off. What if I don't? Where's your army now? I don't need an army. I can take you right here. Really? Said the hunter. You don't have your armor on. I don't need my armor, said Alice. Look, I'm not going to embarrass you in front of your rabbit friend, said the hunter. But you better keep him away from me. Because I haven't had rabbit stew in a long time and I've been craving it. Oh my goodness, said Rabbit. Do you think he's going to eat me? Shh, said Alice. He's not going to do anything. He's going to turn around and walk away the same way he came. You think you're so high and mighty, said the hunter. Yet, when's the last time you checked in with your village, with your kingdom? Why do you say that? Said Alice. I'm just saying, you left. You don't even know what's going on there, do you? Going on like what? Said Alice. Well, I guess you'll find out soon enough. You're almost there. If you have something that you want to say, then say it, said Alice. No, I don't have anything. You'll find out soon enough. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go back the direction I came from since you ordered me. Because everybody obeys Alice. Isn't that right? Said the hunter. Look, you don't have to obey me. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to do any of that. You just need to leave this rabbit alone. Or you'll be sorry. I'll be sorry. I'll be sorry. Says the queen who's absent for the past few months. I'll be sorry. Maybe you should have some of that concern that you have for the rabbit for the people that you left behind. That's enough out of you. Leave. Whatever. I'm sure we'll meet again. Yeah, and when we do, I'll be ready, said Alice. So the hunter turns around and starts walking back in the direction he came. Hey, said Alice, if you have any friends, you better freaking make sure they go with you too. Or what? Said the hunter. You don't want to find out. I am close enough to sound an alarm, and the army you speak of will make an appearance. Yeah. Good luck. And yeah, tell that little rabbit, better steer clear of me and stay in your kingdom, because if he crosses over to mine, game on. The hunter walks off. Okay, come out, says Alice to the rabbit. Who was that? Says Rabbit. I've never had anybody chase me with a sword and then says he wants to have rabbit stew. Do people actually eat that? Unfortunately, says Alice, but not where we're going. He kept saying kingdom. Is that the same thing as a village? Yeah, I guess you can say that, says Alice. You know, we're getting really close. So I probably need to let you in on a little bit of information. Yeah, like he was saying stuff like bow down and everything. Like, what does that even mean, Alice? Yeah, he was just being funny. He's a bit of a jerk. I've known him for many years. He talks a lot of talk, but he doesn't back it up at all. And I definitely could have taken him. I think you could have too, said Rabbit. Well, I'm exhausted. Yeah, me too. That running really took a lot out of me. Should we try to find some place to sleep for the night? Yeah, that's probably best. Actually, a little further down this road, there's a little town. There's definitely a place that we can rest. Is this going to be like that last town, Rabbit said, where right when you walked in, everybody was scrambling and trying to make sure that you were taken care of? Yeah, probably. And this one will probably be a little bit more because we're so close to my village. Village or kingdom, said the rabbit. Call it what you want, I call it home. So as they walked, they got closer to the little village. And just as she said, a little girl ran up to her and started hugging her. Welcome back, she said. Hey, little one. Where's your mom at? Says Alice. She's right over there. And as soon as Alice walked up, the mother started bowing and curtsying. No, you don't have to do that, said Alice. We just need a place to stay for the night. Oh, you can stay in my place. I'll go ahead and get your beds ready. Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? That would be great, said Alice. Come on in. So the lady hurried them in, got their beds set up, and fed them a feast. Wow, said Rabbit. Did she just have all this food laying around? I don't know, said Alice, but I'm hungry. So they started to eat. And as they were eating, Rabbit looked over to Alice and noticed she does look a bit different lately. She seems to be glowing. And he knew whatever the secret was something big. He just hopes that it's nothing bad. Hey, Alice, what's over there? Said Rabbit. Oh, look at that road. I know this road. right around the corner. We're home. Really? We're that close? We're absolutely that close. I probably could yell for somebody and we would get somebody to come pick us up. But I don't want to do that. Why not? Aren't you tired? I mean, we have literally been walking for weeks. I am tired, but I know these next few hours it's kind of important. So I kind of want to just take it all in before I get back into the village. Yeah, like from what you said, it sounds like you have like a really important job to do there. Yeah, I guess you could say that. And the fact that I left, and didn't really think about what I was doing or how that would impact other people, it was kind of a selfish thing for me to do. So I'm really just trying to figure out the best way to maybe apologize. Do you think you need to apologize, Alice? Said Rabbit. I'm definitely gonna have some explaining to do. Well, didn't you say you brought the wolf to meet your people in the village? I did. So coming back by myself after being lost and abandoned out here, I mean, like I said, there's gonna have to be some explaining. And I'm fine with that. It's just kind of reliving the whole situation again and people looking at me like, wow, you allowed yourself to fall for that? Because people really don't look at me in a way that I would make decisions that would have such a tumultuous outcome. Well, Alice, said Rabbit, it's a new you. You're not the same person you were when you left. And that means something. You know what, Rabbit? You're absolutely right. I am not the same person I was when I left. And I have a lot of that to thank you for, and just the adventures we've been on and the individuals that we've met and the lessons I've learned. I'm absolutely not the same person. And yeah, I think just that alone, yeah, I think I can do this. Yeah, so why don't you call to see if somebody can pick us up? Let's just get a little bit closer. I kind of want to take in the smells of the flowers and the sights and the sounds. I don't really get to hear this part of my village and this part of my land, because I'm always kind of sequestered off and not allowed to roam. Really? Said Rabbit. You can't, go off? Well, I mean, if I do, there has to be a good reason. And a lot of times people are following me when I do. And that's why me leaving this last time was such a big deal, because it was one time where I told everyone that I was safe. The person I was with, I trusted, and I was going to be okay. And they trusted me to make the right decision. Well, Alice, like we said before, you made a decision based on what you knew. And if you knew it was going to end up like this, you probably wouldn't have made that decision. But we can't see the future, can we? You're right, Rabbit, you're right. And just then they heard some horses. What's that? Said Rabbit. You don't think it's another hunter to come get me? No, I think I recognize that sound. As the horses got closer. Ma'am, is that you? Alice turns around really slow, and she kind of looks at them as to say, don't acknowledge who I am. And they jump off their horses and they start to bow. That's not necessary, said Alice. We've been looking all over for you. Come on, get on the horse. I have my friend Rabbit here. He needs to come with us too. Okay, you know what? Let's not get on the horse. You deserve a carriage. Let's get the carriage. We'll be right back, Your Majesty. Just wait right here. And they ran off on their horses. Rabbit looks up at Alice and says, wow, that was interesting. They act like they know you. Well, they kind of do. And they act like they really know you. Like, you're not just some random person in the woods. I'm not. Okay. And I can't help but notice what they called you. Yeah. So, when are we gonna have this conversation? I mean, they're coming back with a carriage. Do they do that for everybody? And then Rabbit looks up at her again and says, look, I know you're keeping something from me. You might as well share it. Is it something bad? I mean, you're not getting hungry for rabbit stew, are you? Ew, no, said Alice, and I already told you I'm a vegetarian. Ugh. Oh, good. Is anybody in your village hungry for rabbit stew? No. Okay, then, so what's the big deal? And just then, the two gentlemen came back with the carriage. They jumped off the horses and held out their arms to escort Alice up into the carriage. I can do it myself. I'm good. So she gets into the carriage with the rabbit. They close the door and off they went. Alice sitting in silence looking out the window, knowing that what was ahead was going to change the relationship she had with the rabbit forever. And she was just hoping that it didn't damage it beyond repair. As they got closer to the village, the rabbit looks at Alice. Are those trumpets I'm hearing? Yeah, said Alice. Are those people cheering? Yeah, said Alice. What is going on? Said the rabbit. Let me get this straight. Two strangers on horses went to get a carriage, got us into the carriage, are taking us to your village, and I'm hearing trumpets and people cheering. Yeah, said Alice. Okay. You don't find this weird? No, not really. So, this must have to do with something that you have to share with me. I guess it's the best time as any to go ahead and let you in on a little secret. Alice, said the rabbit, I don't think this is a secret anymore. And he looks out the window as they open the gates to Alice's village. She's finally home. So as they arrived into the kingdom, yeah, we're calling it a kingdom now, because once the gate opened, the term village didn't do it justice. And from the look on Rabbit's face, he completely agreed. Alice, what's happening? As he looks at everybody rushing into the carriage. Look, Rabbit, Alice said, things are going to move really, really fast, but I need you to trust me. Do you trust me? Alice said as she looked at Rabbit. I guess I have to at this point. No, do you trust me? Yeah, I guess. Why? Look, I'll explain everything later. I just need you to trust me. I'll explain everything later. As soon as she said that, the doors flew open. Your Majesty, welcome back, welcome back. She said, look, I have a friend here. I need him to be set up with his own handler and assistant. What? Said one of her assistants. The rabbit needs a handler and assistant? Yes, he does. Do not harm a piece of fur from his tip of his floppy ears to the bottom of his cottontail. Okay, said her assistant. They brought over the royal pillow, gently placed the rabbit on the pillow, and off they were. One direction, and Alice was swooped over to a whole other direction. She is brought into her palace to all the murmur and the chatter and the chattering. Shh, she said. I can hear each and every one of you. Look, I will explain this in due time. But right now, I need to take a bath. You absolutely do, said the one closest to her. I heard that, Alice said. As they went up the stairs, her other assistant came up to her and said, "What exactly are you wearing? And when is the last time you took a bath? And we definitely need to get these braids out and your hair washed. Come. Why do you always act like you're my mother?" Alice said. "Well, Alice, if you didn't act like a child most of the time, I wouldn't have to act this way, now would I?" "Not funny," said Alice. So a group of ladies get her into the bathroom. She's getting washed, and they're talking amongst themselves. "Do you know where she went?" "I have no idea." "What about the guy she was with? Any signs of him?" "Absolutely none." "That is so weird." "I can hear you," Alice said. "Oh, we're sorry, Your Majesty. So, the gentleman you were with, whatever happened to him?" "I don't want to talk about it." "Okay. So, where'd you go?" "I don't want to talk about it," Alice said. "Okay. Well, this is not going to be a really long conversation, now is it?" "No," said Alice. "I will explain everything in due time. Right now, I need to reintroduce myself to my people." "You absolutely do, and there's a stack full of things waiting for your signature and approval on your desk." "Great," said Alice. Home, sweet home. So just then, she gets out the tub. They're trying on new dresses, combing her hair, and it's just a chaotic experience for Alice. And she starts to think, gee, I really wish I miss the days when I was just walking on the mountain or just meditating by the river. And it felt like she was in the eye of the hurricane of all the commotion that was circling around her. She did remember that the mermaid told her whenever she needed to connect to just go into a meditative state and she would connect with them. And that's what she did. As they were pulling and yanking on her, brushing her hair, rolling it up, she went into a meditative state to connect with the mermaid. And she knew she connected because she could hear the faint singing of the mermaid's song. And she asked, how am I supposed to get my people to trust me again? How am I supposed to get them to see I won't make the same decisions? And the answer she got back was just to be who you are, an authentic person who made a decision but has learned from her mistakes. That's all you can be. And with that response, she knew what she had to do. So as she found herself back in her bedroom, all the commotion had hushed, she looked down and saw this glamorous white dress. Her hair was done, her makeup was done, and she was ready to greet her people. All right, Your Majesty, are you ready? Yes, I am. So she stood up and she walked out to the foyer, and she looked down where there were hundreds and hundreds of her village people, and she said, "Hi, I'm back." "No, that is not how this goes," said a whisperer on the side. "We have to announce you." "Do we really have to do this?" Alice said. "Yes, now back up." So Alice takes some steps back. They sound the trumpet, and they make the announcement. All rise as we welcome back our queen, the Queen of Hearts. Applause and screaming and yelling and happy laughter filled the air. And as Alice looked down, she saw Rabbit, who wasn't happy at all, but terrified. See, Alice knew that her ancestors and Rabbit ancestors weren't really close. weren't even friends at all, kind of more like enemies. And she knew if Rabbit had any idea who she was, that their relationship would have not had a chance to grow into what it was. So as she waved to the crowd and she saw that they accepted her for who she was, she felt at peace. But she knew the conversation with Rabbit was coming. So she stepped back and then walked down the stairs to where Rabbit was and said, "Hey, can we talk?" Rabbit said, "Do I have a choice?" Probably not." So Rabbit hopped on over, and they were able to walk off on their own as Alice turned to Rabbit and said, "Look, I know it's probably a bit unsettling that I'm the Queen of Hearts." "You think?" said Rabbit. "You do know the history of the Queen of Hearts and the long disagreements, I guess you could say, between us and your family?" "Yeah, and I know there's a long history with my ancestors about off with their heads and horrible court cases and I know, I get it. That's why I didn't want to tell you. I'm nothing like them. If anything, I'm trying to clear up their karma. A lot of life was lost by the hands of the previous queens of hearts. A lot of people were mistreated. A lot of land was taken. And I know for myself, in my standing here, I have a lot of work to do. And it's taken so long just to regain the trust of my kingdom." "Yeah, and about that," said Rabbit, "you're kind of the queen of Wonderland." "Yeah. So you were saying village. That's a horrible misrepresentation," said Rabbit. "I know. So how did you even get lost in your own kingdom?" "Well, I'm never really allowed to go beyond the gates. And if I ever do, it's for training, or there are soldiers and knights with me to protect me. So when I walked off with the wolf, he was taking me into areas I had never been. So even though I was the queen and I was ruler over all of this area, I didn't know anything about it because I never went there." "Interesting," said Rabbit. "So, is that why you started chasing me?" "Well, the thing about that," Alice said, "and I don't know if it's in my DNA or just some historical leftovers, but right when I saw you, the white rabbit, I knew I was supposed to follow it." "Yeah, from the history of your people, though, was probably to follow it for some really scary reasons." "No, I just felt I needed to follow you. And look, we've become the best of friends. So I knew telling you I was the Queen of Hearts would have not even allowed us to get to a conversation. You would have ran and hid, and I never would have seen you again, and I might not ever gotten home." "Yeah, I guess you're right. Because honestly, if you would have told me you were the Queen of Hearts in the beginning, I probably would never have seen you again." "Yeah, I know. But I do have a question for you." "What's that?" said Rabbit. "How about I give you an official title?" "Really?" "Yeah, an official title over all of Wonderland." Said Rabbit. "I kind of like how that sounds." "Title like what?" said Rabbit. "I don't know, you tell me. I can kind of do whatever I want, you know?" "Yeah, except find your way home by yourself." "Ha ha," Alice said. "But seriously, what title do you want?" You know what? I've always thought Lord P. Costello had a nice ring to it. Well, there it is. You are now Lord Costello. And you're going to have an official duty, a royal duty. Really? Said Rabbit. What's that? I want you to be the messenger of information and communication throughout all of Wonderland. When people see you, they know that you're bringing them information that can help them, that they can learn from, and they can send information back. I like that, said Rabbit. Let's make that happen. It's already done, said Alice. So she looked over to one of her assistants and said, find him a coat and bow tie of the finest material. And let's introduce Lord Costello to his people. Yes, Your Majesty, yes, Your Majesty. But there's someone here to see you. Really? Said Alice. Somebody from the kingdom? No, he's from a neighboring kingdom. But he's been waiting here for a while for you. We've told him we didn't know when you were coming back or even if you were coming back. And he actually kind of helped us out while you were gone. Really? Yeah. Interesting. And where is this gentleman? He's right over here. Come over. So she takes Alice over to a part of the palace where visitors come. And as she walked in the door, a gentleman stood up and said,
Hello, Alice.
And she looked at him and smiled and responded, welcome. Welcome to Wonderland. And while she wasn't too sure of this new individual who has come into her kingdom and wasn't sure of all the adventures that await her, she was sure that sooner or later she would see the sorcerer again and hear the call of the wolf. But she wasn't afraid because she knew she was a new person, and everything that she went through has prepared her for what's in store. She was the Queen of Hearts. She was the Queen of Wonderland.